Corona mask? Yeah.
Oh shit.
I got my mask on so I don't give myself the virus, doggy.
Gang, gang.
Man, I hope I don't get no calls on this phone while we're doing this.
Ah, man, we're going to be quick in and out. You know what I mean?
No, what it'll do, it'll just take you off of the thing a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
And I can come back in?
And bring you back, yep.
You let me know when we live.
Yeah, we up there now.
I don't see the video.
Yeah, we there, dog. Don't fall for Project Bluebeam, I see us.
Okay. All right, cool. We on. Let's kick the intro and let's go.
My boy got the laptop going.
Hell yeah,
man. Gotta tap in with the motherfucking Insomniacs, man. The name of the show is called Insomniacs, man. So we
trying to go on, man.
Yeah, we about to do the intro, then let's get it.
Yeah, we live now.
Let's go. Do the intro.
Wait, let's welcome everybody to another episode.
Hold on. He's doing something.
Can people see this live?
Yeah, they live. Yeah. We live now, bro. That's what I'm saying. I don't like doing
Hold on, I want to send the link out. Hold on 1 second.
All right, let Diz send the link out, man. The Diz
sure. That's what he's doing. That's why the screen went dark.
Hold on, don't send the goddamn Zoom link out.
Oh no, I just sent it to my boy. I didn't put it online.
Don't do the Zoom link, man. This is a YouTube link. The Zoom link is for us to talk.
He can pop up in there.
Hold on.
You have motherfuckers tapping in this motherfucker.
No. I just sent
it to motherfuckers. I'm just hitting the block niggas the whole show.
Hey, hold on. I just sent it to the homie. It's okay if he watches it through the Zoom link, right?
Yeah. If he want to watch it, hell yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, he can see it through the Zoom link if I sent it to him. It's just my boy.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna put it online.
Yeah, he can see it. Yeah.
No, for sure. Just as long as he don't pop up on there, because you know if he talk, he can pop up on the screen.
You gotta admit him. So if you don't admit him, he could just watch it, right?
No, I admit him. I just mute him out.
Right, exactly. Okay, we on. I'm still trying to get the link.
If it is to come back, why don't you send the link on YouTube?
I just sent him the link. All right, let's go.
All right, for sure. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Insomniacs. I'm your boy Big Steel with my co-host.
Your boy Yuck Mouth, aka Sharif, because I come to kick a little knowledge. You dig?
Yeah, we got a very special guest tonight, man. One of the hardest battle rappers on the planet Earth, the homeboy Dizaster.
You already know, man. I got this mask on so I don't give myself corona. You already know, doggy.
Okay, you did.
No, I'm just playing with y'all, man. We're gonna talk. Normal was good.
Oh man, tonight, man, we go get into, man, a little bit of the foolery, man, that the CIA is up to again, man. Project Bluebeam.
Oh, Project Bluebeam, huh? Yeah, that's the famous old school conspiracy that's existed forever. The crazy interesting thing about Project Bluebeam is when people first started talking about it, it was so out of the normal and the technology that was mentioned in it for back in the day, that back in the day in like the 90s and the early 2000s, that was considered, you were like nuts for even considering it a possibility. Now, it's like a normally discussed thing because 95% of the things that are in it have already been basically proven, or we have that technology, you know what I'm saying? Holographic technology. Like, in the 90s, people didn't know that you could beam a hologram into a living room or wherever you want to beam the hologram. They didn't know that.
Exactly.
Now we know.
Exactly, and I'm gonna break it down for y'all with Project Bluebeam is. For those that don't know, Project Bluebeam is an alleged worldwide conspiracy perpetrated by NASA in collaboration with the CIA. The first person to bring it to light in 1994 was a Quebec investigative journalist, Serge Menas. Now, according to Serge, the aforementioned organizations are trying to establish a new age religion led by the Antichrist, because the spread of a single global religion, which would be the foundation of the new world order, the survival of many religious beliefs is an insurmountable obstacle to the political and social unification plans of the planetary population.
Yeah, but when you tell most people like about Project Bluebeam, they immediately think like alien invasion and all that shit. But what you said about the Antichrist and about like destroying religion and all that, it's really part of it. Like all that, that's what it's always was rumored to be part of. So what you're saying is definitely, you know what I'm saying, very possible that that's what it is.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Yeah, the other day, man, you know we talked about the other day, right? MK Ultra.
Which is also tied into it, which is also tied into that too.
Exactly. So check this out now. Serge Manas and another journalist, both of whom were researching Project Bluebeam, died of an alleged heart attacks, both of them, which, by the way, are one of the methods of death included by Project Bluebeam, within weeks of each other. And neither one of them had a history of heart conditions. Just like my man that jumped out the hotel window allegedly, these dudes heart attacks.
That's why you got to watch out what you research, man.
Yeah. So that means that the CIA ain't nobody to be played with.
Obviously not, man. You gotta know too, like with certain topics are cool to talk about that are you know, that basically pertain to, you know, space, aliens, and certain things. But when you start getting into the political shit and you talk about overthrowing governments and you start outlining shit, you definitely go get fucked up. And in the reality of the situation is, you know, it's good to know all this shit, but you gotta watch out what you know put out there, because you know this shit ain't no joke. You fucking with people's money. That's what it comes down to. Is like this technology and all this stuff that's being implemented. It's all tied into the artificial, to the AI tech, and to facial recognition, and to just biometrics and everything coming together. And all that is like $1 trillion industry. So I mean.
Sure.
It's the same way it works when you fuck with the mafia's money. So people got to watch out when they're researching or talking. Like, I don't know about researching. Maybe these two dudes, they're journalists. So they were bent on literally doing damage, I think, like, you know what I'm saying? And just releasing whatever the fuck they could get their hands on. Certain information, you got to be smart enough to not release it and actually know what the fuck it is and decipher it before it comes out, because in the wrong hands, information is actually really bad. I think that's one of the reasons why Edward Snowden is a very fucking double-edged sword for many people.
Wow, man. Break that down for him. Elaborate.
Well, basically, there's a thin line between actually furthering the public's interest and being a double agent accidentally for other countries. So in the process of actually talking about what American interests are and what our technology is, you're also releasing it to people that don't have the best interests of you or the country. So at the end of the day, when certain people die from researching or talking about certain things, it's because they came too close to playing around with something that was bigger than them. You know what I'm saying? Now, what we do is more public knowledge, and we're like humanitarian researchers, right? But when you start really fucking with people's money and actually fucking things up, that's when things happen to you. I know you're familiar with William Cooper, correct?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Behold
the Pale Horse.
Of course you are. So yeah, Behold the Pale Horse. More than that, William Cooper, before he died, people always forget this, that he actually started snapping before he died, which was, well, not before he died, before 9/11. He started snapping about like 6 months before 9/11. William Cooper started flipping the fuck out and telling everybody, like, yo, something really bad's about to happen in America. They're going to blame it on Osama bin Laden. Don't believe it. It's all fucking bullshit. I can't tell exactly what it is, but it's going to be a cataclysmic event type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, following the World Trade Center collapsing, he became more inside of his head, because here you have a guy who's been onto them the whole time, but the world can't see it. And he's in his head, like, I know this is what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And basically he started furthering the investigation because he knew it was bullshit. So he started uncovering more shit, started indulging in the science of the beams and how they were cut, and started coming up with really crazy shit. And he died within like a year and a half of the World Trade Center collapsing. So in front of his house, and FBI admitted to killing him, which is also, when he first died, also it was a conspiracy that the feds killed him. I knew the feds killed him because I had just became a new fan of William Cooper and just started catching up with him. I found out who he was in the year 2000, like 99, 2000. I found out who Bill Cooper was because of Nas. Because Nas rapped about him. So I went and I just looked him up because I wanted to know what the fuck the punchline meant.
Right.
Now, that's how I went down the rabbit hole in my whole life, by the way. It's Nas's fault.
Oh, yeah, man. And that's crazy because once you start going down this rabbit hole, that's why the show is called the Insomniacs, because this is the type of stuff that leaves you up late at night just thinking, you know what I mean? Deep in thought, you know what I mean?
History's been riddled with a shadow hand that's been around, that's been creating, orchestrating events in the name of America and other nations, but they have used America as their main outlet and their main blood on their hands source and the main flag that they put blood stains on because it was the most powerful country and the most resources in the world. So basically, how everything happened, even all the world wars, people will look at America and be like, America bombed Japan, America did this, America's a horrible country, when it's not really what happened. People will look at 9/11 and be like, oh my God, Republicans are so fucked up. Americans are neocons. They want to destroy the world. They just want to occupy places. When that's not really what happened. The Republicans and the whole entire administration behind Bush did not want to go to war. Robert Mueller, who is just so happened to be the guy that came up with the fake Russia report. And this is why you see there's a big divide in America, because a lot of people know this shit, like between liberals and Republicans especially, is because you got a guy like Robert Mueller who'll come out and people will champion him and be like, this is the hero of the people. When they forgot that this was the guy that convinced the world and made it okay to invade Iraq. He was the guy that explained scientifically how they had WMDs. Robert Mueller is the reason Bush was able to fucking invade Iraq. People don't fucking know that. They don't fucking know that. He's the same dude that created the fake Russia shit right now. Because again, they're trying to destroy America and take it down another path, which is, you know, that's another topic for the Corona shit. But let's stick to the Project Bluebeam shit a little bit more, because it ties all in, because technology is going to be used right now at its, okay. The reason why NASA, how you said NASA is involved in it, it's obvious because NASA's had holographic technology for a long time. Proof is in a lot of footage. Well, not a lot of footage. There's mainly one famous shot of an astronaut absolutely fading into a wall like a ghost. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I ain't seen that.
Okay, so they have literally, this is a NASA shot. It's from them. It's not photoshopped. It's literally from what they did. But it's such a small CGI glitch, you have to slow it down to see it. And the guy literally fades into the wall. It's like he was never there to begin with while he was talking to the people. So the holographic technology is actually so far advanced on a high level, not the shit that people are allowed to have civilian-wise, like, you know, billionaire Alki David from Philmon, who I did business with. He has a hologram company, you know what I'm saying? His hologram is obviously a hologram, you could tell. On a different level, when up there, the type of military holograms and shit like that, they have holograms that are not going to be accessible to people, because here's the reality of the situation. If you have a war with people, now you can install soldiers that are not there, and you could completely bait. Like, it's really a real, what hologram technology is a military weapon. But people look at it like, oh, this is for TV. This is for, you know, alien invasions, let's say, which could be. But it's a military weapon, and it has to stay a secret on the highest level. So could they basically stage an alien invasion in the sky, like what is rumored from like the most popular Project Bluebeam shit? Yeah, they could. They could easily, because the technology is there for it, and you won't be able to tell the difference, especially from a long distance. That'll make it impossible. Like, maybe if you up close to some shit where you could damn near put your hand through it, you'll know it's a hologram. But when they're showing you a hologram from, you know, 1,000 miles away from you, you ain't about to know the difference. They could show you a nuke. You know what they could do is literally show us a nuke, rock the planet at the same time with some kind of earthquake, never even nuke us. Everybody will go inside and nobody will ever know that we didn't get nuked.
Well, what's interesting about you saying that, bro, is what is our thing we were talking about the other day? Yuck, help me out, because you know I'm getting old.
What?
We're talking about MK Ultra.
You know, MK Ultra, but where they can control the elements and stuff and create.
Oh, we talking about the heart machine.
Yeah, the heart machine.
Oh, okay, yeah, that ties into the Blue Beam too, because Blue Beam is involved with causing earthquakes.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, you get the heart machine going, and you create a situation.
You mean HARP is involved with making earthquakes?
No, I know HARP makes earthquakes. I'm saying Blue Beam is tied into it.
Why don't you explain how the Blue Beam is tied into the HARP?
The thing is, HARP, another example of what I was just saying, Yuck Mouth, is military equipment. It's not civilian equipment. It's not for people to fucking know about or talk about. People found out about it because of the internet, and they obviously put out their index of what they explain to the public what it does, but it has like about 12 to 15 different applications. And, you know, one of them, which is proven with science, that it could heat up bodies of water. That means they could, they can heat up atmospheres and bodies of water, both. They could do both. So that means they could cause hurricanes. That means they could also, you know, cause earthquakes. And there's tons of other things that point to where it could be used to even cause blackouts in a military situation. Like if we went to war with the whole world, that's why I wonder sometimes if a World War III happened, what really would happen. I feel like America would surprise a lot of people, because even though we have a lot of spies in our shit that took a lot of our technology, on the highest level, there's shit that people just will never catch up to. And I think a war with America would be a combination of hurricanes, earthquakes, pandemics, and all types of shit hitting your fucking continent if it came down to a World War III right now. It would be different. It would be different than, and we have mini nukes. We said we knew already that a nuke, first of all, when we dropped an atom bomb, the whole country was against it. Harry Truman is a fucking moron. You know what I'm saying? If you go back and you look, Harry Truman got elected by accident. The dude didn't even know anything about politics. He literally was a fucking goofball. So he got elected by accident and pretty much wanted to be known as the most powerful president in the world, and to America to be the first. It was a race to arms to see who could drop the bomb, and nobody wanted that. You look back on our history and you see that there was always a fucking shadow thing that was causing these, so they could orchestrate what Project Bluebeam is just a part of. Is just a new world order. It's just another mechanism, and, you know, another branch to help. Because it would be like, I would look at it like an add-on. Like if shit already's popping off crazy, they start with that shit. And it's like, then you ain't gonna tell nothing from nothing. Like imagine if you're in the middle of a war and then they just show you like Jesus Christ and you're a Christian.
Right. Right.
And like you're a super Christian. You're a devout Christian your whole life. You know, you dedicated to the gospel and the word of the scripture. Jesus appears before you in the middle of a war where a bullet's about to go through your head. Hey, you ain't about to think about no holograms or nothing, man. You out of here. You go. Right. And that's another thing, is that has to do with raptures. And bro, I used to have all types of theories about that. Like that they were trying to kidnap all the Christians. Because they say like that's what Project Bluebeam is, right? Like it's like they're gonna fake a rapture, right? Supposedly.
Exactly.
All right, so okay. I don't know whether that's true or not, but what I do realize is how easy it would be to do that if it was true. You know what I'm saying? That's how I think. Like
it's crazy. Let me add one. It's crazy because me and Steele was talking about that shit today, man. What if they did a fake rapture and beam motherfuckers up? We see motherfuckers getting beamed into the sky.
They're gonna kidnap them.
Exactly.
Right. No, but it really ain't nobody being beamed in the sky. It's blue beam. They looking like people.
Oh, they just show people getting beamed. Oh man.
Right.
Oh,
and then everybody.
You imagine the panic?
Everybody that's left on Earth think that we got left. Like
yeah. You think about it, it's a perfect lie.
You got to scramble for their life. Got to scramble for their life. Like, oh shit, God took everybody. He didn't take us. We're gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. So you know what Project Bluebeam, they have 4 structured phases, and we go over each of them. The first one is demolition of all archaeological knowledge and religious conviction through the programmed discovery of ancient archaeological finds. in precise areas of the
Word.
planet, often following artificial earthquakes.
Earthquakes, right.
These discoveries will be so out of this world and revolutionary that they will undermine all the religious certainties cultivated by the present people in the world, leading them to believe that they have been misinterpreted their beliefs for centuries, that they have just been bamboozled.
Yeah, again, I would add that on to what we were saying, because if it's just an application, because they usually do that with war. They just come in, they knock everything off, and they take all the artifacts, because if you find them shits, you go find. Listen, man, in Egypt, you can't wander around the pyramid and take pictures. You can't. It's a lie. They show you just a couple of parts. You can't go wherever you want there. There's areas that are blocked off from you. You can't fuck with shit. You know what I'm saying? Iraq was the same. When we invaded, we took all the shit that Saddam was keeping in his house that nobody wants to talk about. Oh, it was some pretty archaeological. You'll hear a million explanations and perfect articles that have been fact checked about how it's just random furniture. You know what I'm saying? That they took random furniture from Saddam. Imagine America coming into this bitch to take furniture from a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're building fucking nuclear warheads, and they convinced people that we were looking for furniture. So reality is there was a bunch of shit over there that disproved the narrative. The Vatican is really what holds the library there. It has all the books that you're not supposed to read. Every book that has been removed off the shelf on Earth that depicts the real history of what was happening out here is in that library.
Let's touch on. Hold on. Let's talk to the chat room. I see the chat room going crazy, man. What y'all got to say about they saying the chat room saying that Elon Musk satellites are the ones that they using for Project Bluebeam?
And Elon Musk, I'm torn in half about him, because he's really like super about like individual freedom, and actually you can see that he's with the people. He doesn't seem to be part of the establishment. The dude is like more of a level-headed, like us type of person that made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you feel from Elon Musk. He's a cool dude you can hang out with and burn one with. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, because them satellites that they're talking about, they're obviously going to help advance for America, because this dude is all about Americans' interests. So they do have. You got to always, with the conspiracy theories, like, you got to know that there is a middle playing field. You can't just go all the way to the opposite side of the spectrum. Like, everything is bad. They're putting satellites. They're going to zap us. It's really not that fucking simple. But could it be used for what you're saying maybe down the line? Yes. What is it used for? It's used to increase our communications here and give us power. What we're doing with Space Force, with the Space Force thing that everybody's making fun of because Trump announced it, so it became a joke to everybody. But the reality of what Space Force is literally the biggest advancement on any government that's ever happened. Well, not ever, but since the 60s, since the atom bomb, since going to the moon, whether you want to debate that or not, you know what I'm saying? But since then, we haven't had a situation where look, here's how war works. You take control of the seas and the air. You control the land and the people underneath it. It's just that simple. That's why America has the strongest Air Force and Navy in the world. But when you add the space to it, it's literally game over. Once you take over space, basically the upper shelf of our atmosphere, there's nothing any other countries could now do to you, because you're now in command of everything. So this is what's happening. Elon Musk, what he's doing is strengthening America. And I can guarantee you that that's all that motherfucker does. You know what I'm saying? So has he did some questionable shit? Yeah, I don't know how to judge him, because nothing could be proven. But as far as, you know what I'm saying, Elon Musk and what he's doing, bro, we're lucky to have Elon Musk, because he's more of an independent rogue type of person that could go off the hinges any minute. He is not controlled. He might be with the motherfuckers because he's friends with the powers that be, but Elon Musk is another loose end that they would rather control, kind of like how Steve Jobs was. And you look at how Bill Gates is still around and Steve Jobs isn't, and he dies from cancer and he's gone. And you look at now Apple, like what has happened with iPhones and Apple in general. I guarantee you, if Steve Jobs was around, he would lose his mind. You know what I'm saying? So one thing to consider on that, not to go off too much on a tangent, if you look at Bill Gates and what he did with computers versus Steve Jobs, he created a computer with viruses in it where he could sell antivirus software to you, kind of what he's being accused of with the vaccines.
Whoa, hold on, man. Rewind that. Hold on, man. He created his programs with virus so he could sell the virus.
His computers get viruses.
That's why niggas don't fuck with PCs. I swear to God, you try to do Pornhub on the PC, nigga, your whole computer broke. Nigga, the virus.
And that's what he makes money off all that. He makes money off all that, just like he has invested interest in the vaccine business and the viral market. Like, he has invested interest in the bacteria and viruses themselves, not just the vaccine.
Not a computer virus, a real fucking pandemic virus.
If you look at it's kind of like that, man. The dude moved up. He said, "Fuck this shit. I'm gonna put this into the next gear." Like, hey, this computer shit's boring, man. I'm trying to knock off humans.
Hey, man, we laughing about it, but that's exactly what the motherfucking mad scientists.
Well, people will tell you that this is like completely batshit conspiracy shit. No pun intended. Batshit crazy. But like Bill Gates himself has said, like, if we do a good job with vaccines, we'll lower the population 10 to 15%. How do you reverse that? Did he make a mistake there? Are we going to keep on listening to these fucking idiots make a mistake like that? How you mistake saying that? How you up there talking and you say that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and he has that in a TED Talks. Like, literally, has millions of views online. And the way the media spun it was that he predicted a pandemic.
He created it. It's like this.
I mean, you look at the whole thing. Bro, this ties into all types of shit. It's a rabbit hole, man. Listen, Jeffrey Epstein is tied into coronavirus. Don't ask me how this happened, but
no, please, no. How the fuck is Jeffrey Epstein tied in with this, man?
And at some point, you're gonna notice that he is, because it was found that this dude has contributed over $20 million to research of viruses and bacteria right before he passed away. It was found that this guy is literally damn near like more than he's friends with Bill Gates. He's not an acquaintance with him. He's friends where they hang out, they fly together, they have nonprofits together. They first of all, Bill Gates has his own $40 million plane. Why is he on Epstein's plane a bunch of times?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, you go back and you look at all this shit, man. You realize that it's just a bunch of billionaires that were getting money together, and you wasn't part of it. Just like Joe Carlin said. You know what George Carlin said? He said it's a billionaires boy club, and you ain't part of it.
Man, like I said, look. Let's go back, because this Insomniacs. I said this shit on my goddamn live one time. I said, man, how we don't know that Jeff Epstein is alive? We never seen a funeral.
There's rumors that he's alive.
When have you seen his funeral? If he would have had a funeral, that shit would have been filmed on every channel ever. We never seen a Jeff Epstein funeral. I'll wait.
Well, yeah, this all ties into the 4 phases. We heard the first one, the demolition of all archaeological knowledge and religious conviction.
Right.
The second one, and I'm keeping this stuff short, divine projections in the sky in different parts of the world. And the sky and the ionosphere, you know what I mean? All that stuff. Number 3, mental control. Every single person on the planet will be persuaded to have a direct relationship of communication with the new God through a bombardment of radiation pulses by satellite. They provoke deep conditioning of individual thought, determining the phenomenon known as diffuse artificial thought control, according to the requirements of the New World Order. Then you have number 4, total control, to stifle any residual resistance and to consolidate the new power. Humanity will live under the constant threat of extraterrestrial invasion and a mass alien abduction. I think we lost my boy, man. Where'd he go?
Nah, he probably took a phone call.
Oh, so he took a phone call. So this whole thing is getting deeper, man. You know, just think about it. You got everybody out there scared and in a panic now under the constant threat of, you know, like, oh, the aliens are coming down and go get us. You don't see people that you thought was people getting swooped up to the sky, man. The rabbit hole gets real deep, man.
Yeah, I still think, like I said, man, I still think Jeff Epstein is alive. I think they let dudes like that through the back door. You know what I mean? That's why you'll frame some shit like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know, this is just an insomniac thought. This is not facts. This is just, you know what I mean, a motherfucker wondering, you know what I mean? Why I ain't see a funeral? You being a powerful billionaire, and you don't have no funeral, that's
exactly.
That's odd.
But somebody like him probably wouldn't hear it out, bro.
All right, where were we? My bad.
We on Jeff Epstein, just, you know, mysteriously dying, or, you know, I mean, I say just they hit him out. Period.
Look, man, it's a crazy time to be alive, because through all the time of the conspiracy theories of being young and growing up and hearing this shit, all this shit is coming full circle, but there's a more clear picture of what's going on. What's going on right now, in my opinion, is America's in a crazy transition where we're fighting for our life and we don't fucking know it. This country's been hijacked for the past 100 years by a fucking group of people that have used this country and caused every single fucking racial divide, war. Every single thing that you have seen happen was completely inflicted by these people that have caused all of this. Nothing would have happened without them. The banking system, every single thing that's happening here. And it's kind of to a crashing point, and there's no longer, what needs to happen in America is a unity thing between everybody together, because it's no longer about like races or political parties or religions or anything. It's literally the people versus it's the rich versus the poor, and the gap just went way wider because they used this lockdown to create this situation. This situation that they created with the lockdown is basically to create unemployment rates where we become dependent on the system. And as these unemployment rates go up, the gap goes wider. And what's going to happen when houses foreclose or people just are not able to pay certain things is these big giants come in and they buy everything out. That's how the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer. Is a very simple concept, is while you are losing money and you are being affected, somebody else has the money to come take what you just lost. And that's how repossessions happen. Areas get gentrified over fucking night. Like, bro, how do you go on the news? Like, they got all this shit on the news about all this paranoia and all this, but the real things that are happening are not being addressed because it's meant to be that way. So what's happening now is pretty much a war between I'm sad it's sorry to say this because a lot of people will get mad, and you know, I had to realize myself, and it's that even though Trump is the number one enemy of everybody, it just seems that he's the only person right now that's fighting against these motherfuckers that have completely convinced everybody that they are the good guys. And they're pretty much, I'm not saying Trump is a savior. I'm saying what he is trying to do right now is completely combat this obvious outside weird fucking attack on everything of ours. Like, I'm talking about they've been trying to take our guns for the past 4 or 5 years and have failed every single time simultaneously, and they are not going to give up. Bro, Trump hasn't said a word about our guns since he's been in office. I want to be comfortable, bro. I want to know that someone like Nancy Pelosi, because I think about California politics, you know what I'm saying? Someone like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, if you look at the fucking, the revolving door politics that even happen to these guys after they leave politics. But even when they're here, they put in like Gavin Newsom, our governor, or fucking governor, is her nephew. That's her nephew.
No, that's her nephew?
That's Nancy Pelosi. Our governor is her fucking nephew. She just, like, how is this not a monarch system? Right. Like, people, they really, it should be illegal to actually do that, especially when you really don't get no choice. And if you look at a lot of these people, Dr. Fauci, we didn't elect. Bill Gates, we never asked him to do any of this shit.
Right.
He just
popped up.
Magically became the dude that's responsible for like school guidelines. Oh, yeah, you can't come back to school unless you do this. And how did these people become in charge? And who are they all after? These fools are all literally tearing their hair out night and day because Trump is a problem for them for some reason. Now I understand he's not the most cultural person. I'm not trying to support Trump and all this shit. I understand he's not the most articulate person either. We had way more articulate presidents, especially Obama was a more articulate president. But like, even when I talk to people about Obama, I'll see somebody tell me like, what, Obama's the greatest president ever. Are you fucking kidding me? Nah. And then I go, for me, it's just as being an Arab, right? 500,000 Arabs perished away during his presidency, mainly women and children, equating to a bomb every 20 minutes throughout his presidency. And you could line all of it up, bro. So as an Arab, I can't feel somebody else's point of view if they don't feel mine. If they don't go, oh yeah, bro, I feel that, you know what I'm saying? Like you literally, and that's what politics has become. Nobody cares about anybody else's point of view. It's just if they're right or wrong. Shit, I've been waiting for Trump to do some really fucked up shit besides say something stupid in public that everybody goes crazy about. I mean, cool. The dude don't know how to talk. You know what I'm saying? But what's happening right now in America is pretty much you got all these fucking psychotic motherfuckers telling you to stay inside because they're regurgitating the same bullshit because they want the unemployment rates to skyrocket so he doesn't get unelected, so he doesn't get reelected. It's really that pathetic. Like you go, damn, like we really wanted a country where we had a choice in things, but the way they move things around and they show you that they care, like the stimulus package shit that they're doing to us and how they're trying to like say that they care when they're trying to fuck us into more debt. And when we come out of this shit, like we giving you rent relief. Motherfucker, I don't want rent relief. I want to go back to work. I want to make money because nobody I know got sick. And if you got an immunocompromised situation, quarantine the immunocompromised. You got grandparents that you scared to get sick. Don't see them for the next 3 months. What's up on the phone? FaceTime. I love you. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to go hug them every day. There's no excuse for what they did to us right now. And I really lost a friend over this lockdown shit. That's how serious it is for me. You know what I'm saying? This is what made me go over the edge right now. And I don't mean to take away from your Project Bluebeam thing because it's part of all this shit. But it's really like more of what the conspiracy theory is today is that America's under attack by fucking outside forces who believe that you literally have too much freedom as a person. It's really that simple. It's not with Yuckmouth, you traveled a lot. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to assume what you've done, but I know Yuck, you've been damn near every country, right? So
no, we've been in countries together on the plane.
We've and more than that, I'm fucking retarded. We've been to countries together.
Well, we've all been around the world. I've been around the world.
You've been around the world too. So you've been around the world too. All right, perfect. You see when you talk to people around the world and you see what type of level of just empowerment they have as civilians where they're at, I feel bad for them, bro. A part of me feels like, damn, bro, like that's not fair. I want to fight for these people. I don't look at them like I'm superior to them. I look at them like, damn, you hear stories like people will tell you England ain't got no gun shootings because we don't got murders and shootings because guns are illegal. But damn near 9 out of fucking 15 or whatever, fucking 10 out of 15 people I know from England got stab marks on them.
Got stabbed, stabbed like a motherfucker.
Damn near every British dude I know has been sliced or stabbed. Like,
if you ask me the choice, I would rather get shot than stabbed.
No, you see, the thing is, it's true. A society that's heavily armed has less crime in it. Because, look, man, this comes from me being Lebanese too, bro. I lived in Lebanon for a big portion of my life. I grew up in a third world country, a post-apocalyptic war situation with very little fucking resources. I'm talking about 3 to 4 hours of electricity a day, no hot water for showering. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You put it on the fucking stove, you know what I'm saying? Candlelight showering, very limited shit, but we loved life. My point is, we all had AK-47s in the houses. Everybody did. I had an AK when I was 12 years old. It wasn't mine, but it was in my house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I could have used it anytime I wanted to. And it wasn't in a gun safe. It wasn't in nothing. I could have just taken it out and just put it back, which I did. So the point is everybody was armed, and you know, before the poverty and the civil unrest happened in Lebanon, because our shit's getting destroyed, there was 0 crime rate on my block where I'm from, in my city and the whole city. There was 0 crime rate. I'm talking about worst that happened was somebody broke a bottle over somebody's head, slapped the shit out of somebody, maybe a fucking wooden stick came out because they didn't even have bats. And that was it. Now people are clapping shit the fuck up. And it's because nobody has money. So when you look at situations, it's poverty and mental conditions that create that urge to snap and become whatever, a mass shooter, to go out and do some shit. But we want to blame it on other shit. We want to blame it on politics and race and all types of other shit. Oh, the shooter was white. No fucking shit. A gang of people are white and they're tripping the fuck out. Everybody is tripping the fuck out. Everybody is tripping, bro. You remember Christopher Dorner? Oh, he was black as a motherfucker and he knocked shit the fuck off. Knocked shit off
down,
into an oblivion.
Praise the king, man. He was the first one to go. Yo, he was the first one to go against crooked cops.
But what happened with Christopher Dorner? What happened with him? What?
They hunted him down like he was the
But why did he trip? People come up with a million conclusions.
No, it ain't no trips. He was tripping on crooked cops. He wanted to report them. And then when he did report them, all this whole station reported him and switched it up. They act like he was lying.
They made him look like he was insane.
So he quit. He got fired. So he started knocking them down. Now I'm going through this,
crazy
bro. He got fired. He started knocking them down, coming to their house and blasting them, right?
But let me tell you something. You fire somebody from their job, bro. Let me tell you something. Remember the bitch, the white bitch from YouTube, or I think she was Arab actually. The bitch that fucking, they took her channels down and she couldn't make money no more, so she ran up in there and sprayed the place, then killed herself.
Whoa. I ain't never heard of that.
That was, of course, YouTube will bury that.
We want to be careful with that because we don't want them to snack Shark Sample down. They tripping stuff like that.
No, that's shit. That was it. They put that out there. They put that out there. They had somebody run up in their office and gun shit down because people lose their job. They trip out, bro. This is what real life is about. This is what's happening in America right now. Everybody's losing their fucking job and they lose their mind. Look,
Diz, hold on real quick. Let me ask you a question, man. You made a very important point, man. You know, people don't have jobs right now. And I noticed what they did because I had a couple of homeboys, man. You know, they got regular gigs and they got laid off, whatever. And they were saying, man, I do better with unemployment than I did at my job. I said, man, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
You know what that is? That's literally, okay, these people.
Sounds like socialism to me.
Yeah, and they so scandalous that we should be open right now, but they locking it down for 3 more months in Cali because they want elections to be fucked up for Trump because nobody's ever been reelected under these unemployment numbers. Nobody except Roosevelt has done it in history, and that was a very isolated situation, and that's because he already had the majority and everybody loved him. So it was a completely different situation with him. You know what I'm saying? What's happening with Trump is it will be impossible to reelect him if that happens. And bro, who do you think they're going to slide in there? You think they're going to slide in there somebody that's better for us? Somebody that's going to talk to us nicer so we're happier when we're getting fucked? Who are they going to put up there?
Exactly.
Bro, if people even indulge into half of what Biden and these people have done, I don't know where the fuck they would come off on even tripping about Trump or Pence or any of these guys. For as far as I know, these guys haven't done nothing that serious besides just fucking piss people off and actually, you know, there's definitely shit that I disagree with. I'm not going to say I fully agree. But
you think about this, and I don't want to get too far off the blue beam stuff, but this stuff is all
connected. It's all connected.
It's all connected.
It's like the MK Ultra. The MK Ultra and the Blue Beam is connected with everything we're talking about right now. So,
well, it's because it's mind control. That's what the media is, bro. What it's became is pretty much memes, media shit, suffocating algorithms, confusing everybody what fake and real news is, and that's what the mind control is.
Well, let me tell you this. Let me ask you this.
Bingo.
We all come from crazy areas, right? We all come from at some point of our life, all 3 of us lived in some pretty crazy conditions. How many times have you seen people get robbed without a gun? Just the thought of somebody having a gun, they give up everything. You walk up behind somebody with your hand in your shirt like this and put it in their back. They put their hands up and they do whatever you say.
That's happened for sure a lot of times.
It's the same thing with this stuff. Don't go outside. It's airborne. Everybody panics.
They silencing doctors that are disagreeing with them. That's the problem. The problem wouldn't be if they were saying that. If they were saying that, cool. Talk about how this virus is everywhere in the air. Spread your bullshit lies. But let the doctors speak their mind and don't silence them, because it's going to get to the point where we're going to start fucking people up over this shit. Like, what? My homie just passed away and people are going to make up all types of things. Oh, nah, you know, or maybe I'm trying to politicize. Nah, I'm not trying to politicize anything. This shit broke my heart and I'm really very fucked up and over the edge of because of it. I'm very high strung because of what happened with my homie, because his opportunities were so fucked up already and he was in a trap situation and they trapped him inside a more trapped situation, told him he couldn't go nowhere. He was stuck in the house fighting with his lady. They was arguing. Instead of the cops coming over there and trying to understand shit, they started wrestling and they killed my boy, bro. That's what happened.
Wow.
You know, so, but my boy lost his fucking mind, though. You gotta know, he caved from the pressure, something that's happening to a lot of people, bro. He was a good dude. You know what I'm saying? That's Blackout. You might know him, Yuckmouth. Blackout's a real motherfucker, bro. And anybody in LA who knows anybody knows who Blackout is, bro. One of the realest dudes you will ever come across in your life. You know what I'm saying? And this dude was just completely trapped in a more fucked up situation where, dog, how you gonna tell people what they do is not essential? Yuckmouth, listen to this. I explained this yesterday. Tell me if this is not the most logical thing you heard. There is nothing that's not essential. Even a fucking kid at a lemonade stand. A kid on a lemonade stand is literally good for the economy, and I'm gonna explain to you why. Because what the kid does is the kid comes out of his fucking house. First of all, what he has to do is he has to buy himself a little fucking table or a stand. So he goes over to Home Depot and he spends money, something that somebody worked on to fucking deliver over there. Transaction. Then it gets to him. Then he has to go buy lemons from a farmer that actually worked their ass off and actually purchased water from somewhere and nutrients, and then nutrients got sold in water. Do you understand that just a simple fucking kid at a lemonade stand is literally boosting the economy from like 15 to 20 different directions that the average person doesn't see? So then it comes to battle rap and why I'm mad. How is battle rap not essential? You son of a fucking bitches. We fucking make millions of dollars every year, not us individually, but the whole market. You know what I'm saying? The market is generating millions of dollars together from little transactions, from, hey man, let me do a hook, let me do it, let me get a verse, let me get hey, let me get a shirt, let me get hundreds. That's an economy. So what you got over here is a bunch of cocksuckers that are trying to enforce a new world order, and the Project Bluebeam thing might start happening. And to be honest with you, I think it's been happening. I got footage of a UFO on my phone. Real shit. I got footage of UFO shit on my phone that nobody could explain, and it's clear as fucking dog shit.
Too crazy.
Hold on. As of recently, like a few days ago, when it was raining out here in LA, they have footage of the rain, and it was a thunder. You know what I mean? The thunder lit up the sky, and then a fucking like a Thanos motherfucker was in the sky. Have y'all seen that?
Nah.
Like a big ass buck Thanos nigga was in the sky, nigga. They
at this point,
just
bro.
do that shit, bro. I'm just saying, bro.
Yo, 2020 is crazy, man. If Thanos appeared at this point, I wouldn't even be shocked.
Man, they got a big ass buck Thanos in the sky, man. I don't know, man. Man, look for that footage though, man. Do LA, man. They're gonna show the footage, man.
Hey, but for real, all in all, I think what people need to watch out for right now is our rights being stripped of us. This little contact tracing bullshit, anything having to do with anything mandatory or watching how you move, because they're re-emulating communist China. They want us to have the same type of infrastructure where literally everybody is, listen, in China right now, they have integrated so much in certain parts where somebody walks out of his house, he says Uber. The Uber pulls up, because what the 5G has done over there is a connection and network of billions of fucking mics and cameras all around the country that connect to each other and are powered by 5G, because 4G can't power it. So 5G powers this network, and this network is able to pick up sounds on every corner and CCTV of every single blind spot in the city. So when you walk out of your house and you say Uber, it knows that your name is David fucking Shermovitz or whatever the fuck your name is. You know what I'm saying? And the Uber pulls up, you know what I'm saying? And you tell them where you want to go or whatever. You get to KFC, then he pulls up to KFC. He walks into KFC. They already greet him like, "Hey, David, chicken sandwich like last week, or would you like something new today?"
Oh, wow.
So that's really what they want for the future over here. That's why the whole RFID shit. Now, here's where I'm gonna drop a bombshell on everybody. I don't know whether what they are doing is bad or not. With everything, and I mean depopulation. I mean all of it. All the things that scare us. Because we think like human beings, like individually and like such small fucking cells. And we're like, oh my God, this is going to kill me and this is bad. But there's a very terrifying fucking notion that people should really get acquainted with really fast. That even when we shut this planet down, the ecosystem over here, how it started healing rapidly and how things were starting to come back to life is very alarming. And a testament to who we are as a species and what we do on a daily basis, and whether we do or do not deserve to be here. Really, and it's a very fucked up way of thinking, because I obviously care about everybody. I don't want no innocent people to die. I think the whole idea of killing random people is fucking evil. But I do reserve the possibility that Bill Gates and the eugenicists from fucking Margaret Sanger to fucking Planned Parenthood and Bill Gates' father and L. Ron Hubbard and all of them, I do believe that they think they were doing good. I think they believe in their mind that they are saving the planet and they are not hurting people. I think they believe that the planet cannot sustain itself at the rate it's going, which is actually scientifically proven to be correct on every aspect. It's just because we're not educated enough to go spread out and take over the other empty lands and create our own little governments. Human beings need to form in clusters because they're so dependent. They are absolutely retarded. Nobody knows how to make their own food or anything.
Well, let me ask you a question, not to cut you off, brother. And this seems totally off the subject, but it's going back to what you said. Did you see, what was the last movie that came out with my man Thanos in it?
Avengers.
Avengers.
Endgame.
Think about the whole premise of that movie. Was Thanos really that much off his rocker, man? When Thanos handled his business, what was he doing? He went and his planet was fixed again. He was harvesting food. He was in there peaceful.
Yeah.
He broke the gauntlet. He said, I don't need this no more.
Hey, you want to think of another thing is that what's evil? Like when you look at, you'll see a bunch of humans getting slaughtered and you'll think whoever's doing that is fucking evil. But you'll see us slaughtering a bunch of animals literally as they scream for their lives. And it's okay because we have no conditioning towards what's not human. So we think if we got murdered and slaughtered in bunches and thrown in a fucking grave altogether, that it's the worst thing on earth. But if you think about it, you're just insects getting tossed in a fucking grave. Real shit, because at the end of the fucking day, that's what it is. You're a number here. We're numbers. And we really don't do much to actually change that. We live as consumers. We consume as much as we can. We litter, we destroy, we shit. If we didn't have people to take our shit out, what do you think would happen? If we didn't have sewers and garbage truck every Wednesday, what do you think would happen with people?
It would be trash piled on the street, man. It would be trash.
People would be living in their trash. So here's what I leave everybody with. Humanity is a very vile, unorganized, chaotic race that needs a daddy. And whether or not the daddy is actually doing the right thing for us or not, sometimes we don't know because we don't know what the fuck right is. But we can agree that evil is evil, and I will stand with that. And I think that exterminating people that are innocent is absolutely fucking outrageous. But at the end of the day, we're a virus. And when something is killing us in its world, whatever it is, being Thanos, they have the same perception that you would have killing a criminal coming into your house. You are absolutely the bad guy in the situation. You are the person being exterminated because of what you have done. And honestly, I think that's a terrifying truth that every human's going to have to face one day. And I hope that's not how we end. I hope people wake up. You know, that's why I turned vegan 2 years ago. I don't like killing animals.
But look, in the Bible, you know what I mean? When Adam was created, he said he'd be the ruler of all animals, the ruler of all birds, the ruler. You know what I mean? The fish, we give you the fish, you're the ruler. So humans became the rulers of animals, bro. You know what I mean? And then you look at animals, look, hold up. Now, do an animal, a lion that kills a deer, do he feel guilty? Or do we got to go pray to God and say, forgive me, God, for killing this deer to eat? Or is that just the program? That's the way of life. That's the pecking order how God made it to survive. He gave us fish. He gave us deers and shit. You know what I mean? And so on and so on.
Listen, bro, the difference is between us and a lion will only eat what is necessary. A lion is not going out killing a whole bunch of deers and just wilding out killing them. If you ever notice in the jungle, a lion will be there chilling. And all the other animals will walk around him because he ate already. He's not going to get up and attack. Us as human beings, we are slothful and greedy. We will eat just for the sake of eating. We will go out and slaughter, just mass slaughter. I dig what he's saying, man. And see, just because God gave us ruler of all people, we're supposed to go out and kill. That means we are stewards of the planet. It doesn't mean we go out and kill everything because there's so much stuff we're not even supposed to eat. I'm going to tell you something. We're not supposed to be eating pigs because pigs are here to eat our trash. That's why we got stuff just piled up in all these places. We're running out of room for the trash. Because you think about it, if the ecosystem ran the way it was supposed to ran, we wouldn't have no trash on the planet. We wouldn't have no landfills because pigs are designed to digest all that stuff. Pigs wasn't put here for us to eat, bro. They was here to clean trash up.
Hey, that's crazy. They're like our personal fucking trash cans.
It's like you think about it. If we all had pigs in our backyard, right?
No, but they're like trees. Like how trees take our carbon dioxide. Like it's kind of, you know, that's a good way to look at it. I'll add one thing for you on what you said about the lion. The main thing about why humans shouldn't be eating animals is this. You have a fucking ecosystem. Your ecosystem is working in harmony. Every lion eats like 11 deers a year, and that's it. Every single animal in there is literally working together at a balance. Then you throw in a fucking human in the middle. That's where the fucking problem is, because once the human jumps in, the whole thing is out of sync. We have participated in eating out of every single species and hunting every species to where we cause so many fucking domino effects that everything is fucked up. And that's pretty much what it is. Now, the reason why I respect certain hunters in America only, I don't respect any hunters in any other part of the world, because in America, they actually tell you in this season, you could only kill 200 birds. And if you kill one bird over it, you're going to jail. You get what I'm saying? That is a scientific, them trying. That's them. That's what human beings should be trying to do if they're going to do fucked up things. I don't think they should be hunting for sport, but if they want to do it, if they do it within the limits of the ecosystem and they don't fuck it up to where they could still grow the same numbers back and they could still maintain the healthy fucking herd that they have, cool. Let them do it. But you see, we don't do that. And to top it all off, bro, if we could get into this conversation, it's going to be a whole other thing about us farming 90 billion animals on this planet that don't need to be here, including cows and pigs that don't need to be here. That's 90 billion animals causing pressure on the planet. Try to imagine a room a rooftop. You're sitting partying on a rooftop and you got 100 people already on your roof and your man's like, yo, there's too much of us on here. This roof might cave in. But you say, fuck it, and you add another 1,000 people on that roof. What do you think kind of pressure is happening to that building, even if it doesn't cave yet? Like, that's what we're doing to the planet. These animals are taking up tons of space, water, land, like the land in trees that the amount of acres of forest that they have to chop down just to create space for these fucking cows for us to fucking eat. And then the amount of resources and water and food we have to give them is causing a drought in California, causing problems in all types of places. Food shortages, bro. There's food shortages in parts of the world because the food that's meant to go for the people is being fed to the animals for the animals to become food for other people. Animal agriculture is a whole nother fucked up thing in itself, bro. That also ties into everything. You know what I'm saying?
You're going deep. You're going real deep, my dude. That's why I got you on here, because I know that you are.
I apologize. Actually, I shouldn't have did that.
No, it's dope, because we was on a plane where we was on our way to Copenhagen, and we was having the same talk. Like, we was going so deep that you were going so deep that the people on the plane got mad at us. Remember? They was like, "Shut up!" There was that one white guy. He was hella mad at us.
Oh, what were we talking? Hey, what were we talking about when that guy started saying some shit? And I told him,
like this. We talking about conspiracy shit. Like, shut the fuck up. And you got up and said, "Motherfucker, whoa, you cuss the motherfucker out." The whole plane got silent. Yo, we in mid-air. I think we got like 5 more hours before we land. He like, "Shut the fuck up." Whoa. Man, nobody said shit. It was crickets. You don't remember that?
I do.
Man, he cussed out that man. He cussed him out so vulgar, man. Shit.
I do remember a dude getting slick with me, and I fucking snapped on him. That for sure happened.
We're talking this shit, though. We're talking this shit about all the conspiracies and Rothschilds, and we was going there. He was a white guy. He wasn't feeling what we was talking, though. You know
this is necessary dialogue, though. This is very necessary dialogue, because, like Diz said, people are losing their minds, man. And everybody have these thoughts in their head, man. People don't know what's going on, man. You know, you got cats, man. Thank God that we got the ability to make our own livelihoods, man. And even they're trying to take that from us. You know what I mean?
They are taking that from you. That's the problem. That's why I'm not shutting up anymore. I wouldn't listen, man. I want to rap and go back to my normal life and blaze and just be a regular person, bro. Like, I'm not trying to do all this. I hate this shit. You know what I'm saying? But apparently there's no more regular life. So we out here talking this shit now, because, hey, this is how I tell the motherfuckers. If they see me and they're like, we need to off this dude, he talking too much, just know, don't kill me. Give me back my job. Let me go back to work, and I'll shut up and I'll get out your ass. If you gonna keep on fucking with me, I'm gonna be in that ass. That's pretty much what I want to say.
Hey, man, we're going to end it like this, man. Project Bluebeam is a perfect situation right now, because, you know, with the economy as it is, you know what I mean, with the government, as far as the presidency, you know, it'd be the right time for them to put Jesus Christ in there and say, vote for Trump.
And buy gold.
Vote for Biden. You know what I mean? God, he's the chosen. Vote for Biden. Like, you know,
man. Listen, man, buy gold, buy crypto, because what I'm telling you this, the dollar is going to go through some kind of weird transition right now. From what I see, and this is one of the things I wanted to mention. How much time do we have? We got like 10 more minutes?
Man, we got as long as you go,
Keep going. Listen. Hey, I need to go too, but I need to get this out. The dollar is going through all types of shit. The central banking system is basically losing all of its power for the first time since they got installed in America. As you know, Putin kicked the central bank and the IMF and everybody the fuck out of Russia, and he's been running the show ever since. That's why he is one of the enemies of the world, and he's promoted as an extremely fucking horrible person, which obviously he is a questionable person, but he's not a tyrant like how they try to make him sound on the internet. You know what I'm saying? You know how the news goes. You know what I'm saying? The money is fucked up, but the Federal Reserve seems to be merging with the Treasury and our Secretary of State. He basically is going to become in charge of the money right now. And what's happening is the global supply, the global food and precious metals and the antibiotics and the stuff that we relied on for the rest of the fucking world, that also we've been fucking basically giving away that's when they say they're giving away our jobs. We don't got people making shit here anymore, because throughout the years of Bush and Obama, this is what they did. You know what I'm saying? They gave away all of that. You know what I'm saying? So basically what's happening here is a shift where everything's coming back to America. Now the dollar, I think, is going to go through some turbulent shit, but I think it's going to bounce back. But what I do think is going to be really good is gold and crypto. You know what I'm saying? And both those things, I don't think they're going to go bad, bro. I really don't. We're going into an artificial intelligence era, bro, where digital currency is going to have to be a necessity. There's no way around it. Whether people don't like Bitcoin and all this shit or not, they better learn about it, because it's going to be the only form of money in the near future, just like floppy disks, CDs, and tape decks used to be the form of music It's going digital, whether you fucking like it or
Like
not.
it or not. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So fuck a conspiracy. That's what's really happening.
That's real.
and hold on, I'm gonna give you this part that I wanted to leave you with for real to research. How the fuck the Titanic ship ties into all this.
Yeah, you was talking to me when I called. You was like, we got to talk about the Titanic. I'm like, what the fuck do the Titanic got to do with this? Land on that, man. What the Titanic got to do with all of this, bro?
So, the Titanic sank in 1912. In 1910, the Federal Reserve was attempting to take control over the United States government and install itself as the main currency controller of the United States and the mediator between the central world banks and how they deal with the IMF and the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. Basically, the system that we have today, Yuckmouth.
Right.
So this system was pushed onto us several times during when these three men had power. Isidor Straus, Guggenheim, and John Astor. John Astor was the wealthiest man in the world. Straus was Macy's department owner of all Macy's, all the shopping. He owned everything, the J.C. Penney's, all that was under him. These three men had power over the whole entire Congress and literally had the final say-so with everything that happens in our government, including our president. That's how much power they had. Now, were they bad people? No. They were actually incredible human beings. And I say this because they still followed the Thomas Jefferson motto, where he stated that if the people of America were to ever let the private banking institutions take control of their lives through inflation and deflation, those younger generations will wake up one day to find that they are slaves on the very lands their forefathers fought to conquer. You know what I'm saying? So they believed, those three men were anti-banking to the 1 billion. And no matter what they would do, these men would just trash their bills.
Right.
So one day they invite them all to the Titanic for a meeting, for a big celebration of all the wealthiest, most powerful businessmen in the world.
Wow.
But before they even did such a thing, which nobody would have even fucking opted to do, it had to be the unsinkable ship. A ship that they made people believe back then, because they weren't as smart as they were today, where they could tell you like things could happen. Back then, they were like, unsinkable ship. It's an unsinkable ship. Hey, hello, the unsinkable ship. They thought it was an unsinkable ship.
Wow.
That was the whole point, that everybody felt so safe in that ship that there's no way it would sink possible. And the wealthiest men in the world were on it, so there's no way it would be attacked.
Wow.
The ship sails. Now, keep in mind, before the ship sails, 13 years prior, a man named Morgan Robertson publishes a book named Futility with an unsinkable ship named the Titanic that pretty much sinks in the month of April, the same month the Titanic sank, and literally has the same layout as the Titanic. So the idea of the whole entire accident was published in a book 13 years prior by a dude named Morgan Robertson. You can look it up. So then, here's what's even more crazy. So then within a year, the Federal Reserve takes control of our whole entire government after all three of them pass away in the fucking hypothermia lakes ocean, in the ocean of hypothermia. They pretty much installed the Federal Reserve, installed the central banking units. Everything just came together. They were able to start printing money, start, doing whatever they wanted. Like basically they were God now.
Wow. And that all started from the Titanic. So we just thought it was a movie.
Now here's what's even more crazy.
We didn't know this.
Now here's what's even more crazy.
Go ahead.
How hard they pushed that movie down your throat that it was just some ship that fucking fell off, that they made a movie of it, that they made it the biggest box office movie. They made sure everybody on earth watched it. I watched it in Lebanon when I was a kid. I wasn't even in America when I watched it. So I watched it in Lebanon. It was like 96 or something.
Right.
And basically what I want to leave you with is this, is that Leonardo DiCaprio, the main actor of the Titanic, is literally family members with all these banking motherfuckers. So the same people that killed off the top three men in America and installed what we have as slavery tax today are the same people that put their little grandson, or not even just grandson, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like basically he's extremely related, like blood, like uncle, cousin, grandson shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's their prize. They had their superstar play the role. So that's the big fuck you to the world. And hold on, I only brought all of this up for one reason. Today, an article comes out that the Titanic salvaging team has got permission from the US government to cut open the Titanic and pull out the telegraph machine that's been left underneath the fucking water for 100 years. If the data, listen to this, if the data is inside this bitch, this is why I'm tripping out about Trump. I really don't understand who he is, because he's against the Federal Reserve. All these things that are happening are literally, he's taken all their power. And in the midst of all this, now they're going to crack open the Titanic.
Oh,
See? This is absolutely insane. When I seen the article, I lost my mind, because I know if that data is retrievable, it's like a black box from a plane. And guess what, bro? It's all on paper that has no water in it. It's literally tied inside a box that is completely waterproof. And whatever is in there is going to be the whole audio recording of everything they saw and what happened. And exactly, they're going to know that it was not an accident, that explosions probably happened. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was exploded. The whole fucking thing was bombed from the bottom up. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to know that. And they're gonna
the submarine was up under that motherfucking bomb disaster.
Hey, we don't know what happened, but we know this.
Allegedly.
We know that thing sunk, and we are here today paying income tax. And to be honest with you, the income tax was added on later as a World War II thing, because we need help for the war, man. America needs help us, man. We need help. So then we started paying more taxes, income tax, and then the war ended. And we're still paying taxes.
Fucking taxes. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, man. I'm okay with taxes. I'm just not okay with slave income taxes. Like, there should be taxes, but like payable taxes, not extortion. We're getting extorted for 30% of our earnings, bro.
And don't be in that tax bracket where they take 45, 50%. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a whole nother level. So on that note, man, still, you want to end, you know what I mean, before we get up out of here? Thank you, Dizaster, man. That's why I wanted to hit you up, because you are deeper than Atlantis with this type of conspiracy shit. So I'm like, the first guest we gotta get is the Dizaster. That's why he's so much of a dope rapper, because he got the knowledge of all the, you know.
You too, man. You already know, man. You already know, man. You're a legend to me. So, you know, it goes without saying.
Man, we want to thank you, man, from the bottom of our hearts and coming on, man.
Nice to meet you, Big Steel.
I hope you know that you're a regular now. You're going to be a regular guest. We're going to bring you.
Oh, yeah, I'll come fuck with you guys whenever, man. Just let me know.
Yeah, Insomniacs.
And that's what this show is about, man. This show is about the truth. This ain't the show that you come to if you want to hear rumors or.
Oh, God, y'all should interview Diabolic, man. Y'all should interview Diabolic, man.
For sure. Let's set it up, man.
All right, man.
Sometimes, man, reality is scarier than the movie. The Insomniacs. Peace.
Reality is way more interesting than a movie. I'll tell you that much. Movies are only rip-offs of reality things. But you know what, man? All these movies, man, they telling us so much shit in these movies, man. These movies are starting to trip me out. Hey, you got to go back and watch Matrix right now. Oh, man. Matrix hit a whole lot different right now.
It hit a whole lot different right now. It hit a whole lot
different, man.
Oh my God, man. Dizaster, we gonna get you on another episode.
All right,
man. Thank you again, man. We out this motherfucking Insomniacs, man. Still, you know what I mean? Motherfucking Sharif, Disaster. We out this motherfucker.
Yeah,
Video
peace.
soapbox. Yada da. Good shit.